Today we've got Perfect Skin. Hi and a really big welcome to the channel. I'm Gary. Thanks for joining me today for this look at Perfect Skin. It's a great piece of classic 80s guitar pop by Lloyd Cole and the Commotions. I've covered a couple of Lloyd Cole songs on the channel quite recently, so check those out if you like Lloyd Cole. We've got Forest Fire, got Are You Ready to Be Heartbroken, and this one is a request. It's one of Lloyd's biggest hits. Lloyd was one of the original reasons I bought this guitar. I always fancied a semi-acoustic guitar when I was quite a bit younger, late 80s, I think mid to late 80s. And this is a really good song. I've got the electric guitar in my hand, but I'm going to go through some of the lesson on acoustic guitar in case you just want to do it as a strum-along song to play as a solo artist. But we'll come back to the electric guitar later on. I'll show you those little fills and riffs and nice little details of the song on the original recording. If you're new to the channel, then I'm really glad you found us, and I hope you enjoy the content. If you do, please give me a thumbs up, give me a like, subscribe to the channel. It's just going to help me to grow this and put out more content. Anyway, as always, we're going to zoom in, get close up, and we'll look at Perfect Skin. Okay, there we go, nice and up close now. Hopefully you can see everything. So yeah, the way I'm going to approach this song is to play the bulk of the song, the chords, the verse and the strumming, using the acoustic for anybody who just wants to do this as an acoustic piece. A lot of the electric guitar parts during the verse and the chorus are the same or simplified. The main difference in the electric guitar parts is you get these little riffs and fills that come in between the verses. So the bulk of the lesson will be just the main structure of the song, which we're going to do now, and then I'll come to the electric guitar again a bit later. For both, we're in standard tuning, and both these parts for either acoustic, I'm playing acoustic, or electric, they're all interchangeable. So you could do, the electric guitar parts on an acoustic if you're playing in a duet or if you're playing with somebody else, and vice versa. They all work. They're all in standard tuning. They've not got capos on. They're interchangeable parts. So we'll look at the introduction first. It's a nice introduction. Starts using three chords: D, C, and G. So we'll break it down now. So the introduction is actually played on the electric guitar, but you need an introduction if you're doing it just with acoustic anyway, so I'm going to cover it here. So the three chords I said, we've got D, C, and G. I'll play through it and then we'll break it down. It sounds like this. And then the vocals come in and we go into the first verse. So it's pretty simple stuff. I'm just strumming downwards on the D chord, then catching the D string again. Alright? And then hammering on G2, which I'm holding as part of the chord. Now I'm then playing the B string, but I'm also taking my finger off the first string to get this D sus chord at the same time. Okay, and then we go to our C chord, and I'm just raking backwards from the notes of the chord from the B string, so B, G and D. So and then we go to a G. Now you don't really need to play any of the chord, you can just play the B, G and D strings, which appear as part of the G chord. But if you want to put the bottom of the chord in the G chord, it just helps to fill out, makes it sound a bit more full, a bit of bass. So all together. So there's two measures of that, and then the vocals come in for the verse chords, which we'll look at now. Right, so the verse chords, we're using the same chords, D, C and G. Lloyd changes on the C chord. I've noticed he plays a C9, so you've got this B3 in it, and it's easy to go down to the G chord, still keeping that in there, so it's a G, but with that note in. So I'll strum through the verse chords now and then we'll have a closer look. I'll sing along with it. Sounds something like this. I choose my friends only far too well up on the pavement. Here I'm down in the cell with their government grant. My IQ, they brought me down to size. Academia blues. And then those chords continue when the electric guitar riff comes in between the verses. I'll show you that later on. So D, C9, down to this G with that note in it. Hitting the root of the chord from the D there. When I play the D, I'm hammering on that G2. That features quite a lot throughout the song. Also, you can do a little hammer on. Louise is a girl with a perfect skin, sitting on the light, with the whites that can't be seen. She's got cheekbones like geometry and eyes like sin, and she's sexually enlightened by cosmopolitan. Okay, so simple stuff, just 3 chords there, but do use those hammer-ons, those little accents. It just gives the song some of its feel. Next we'll look at the chorus. For the chorus we're bringing in a new chord. We've got an F major 7. You can play it like that the normal way, or with acoustic I tend to beef up the bass by adding that note, that C root. Just fills it out a little bit, you get a much fuller. You can do it either way. Strumming down the chord and then coming back up, hitting the first open string and then B1, which you're holding as part of the chord. Down to a G there. So in context, when she smiles my way, my eyes go out in vain. Stay on the G. Strum up, I'm using that full G. So I hit the bass, and then I hammer on A and D at the 2nd fret. When she smiles my way, my eyes go out in vain. She's got perfect skin. Again, F to G. Use the full G or normal G. And you stay on there then until the next verse. Shame on you, you got no sense of grace. Shame on me, and so on. So nice simple stuff, great song. Lovely ringing chords. That F major 7 I think sounds good in any song. Really nice in the chorus here. That's the chorus. So as I always say, listen to the track for the roadmap, the structure of the song, how it works out. I think off the top of my head it's the introduction, 2 measures of that. You get the first verse and then the verse chords with the electric guitar riff in between that we're going to look at next, and then the 2nd verse, and then the chorus, and then that repeats that same format: verse, riff, verse, chorus. And after the 2nd chorus we go back into this introduction part that we've looked at. Back into that, and then there's a key change when the main lead guitar part comes in, and it goes up 1 step. So the song's in D, so we go up, so D becomes E, C becomes D, and our G becomes A. So we get this sort of effect. I'll play it in context from that intro. into the normal key of D for the last verse. I'll look at that again when we come to the guitar solo later, but there's no fancy embellishments with those chords. You're just bashing out really the E, D and A behind it. You know, before when we're playing in D, all these hammer-ons, stuff like that, there's none of that. You just really for that section. So after the key change and the guitar break, we come into verse 5, I think it is then, just in our normal key of D, one measure of that, then a chorus, and then we go into the final verse, which I'm just going to play through because that leads us into our finish. There's no fade outs here, it just finishes. So we'll come into the last verse, to up 8 flights of stairs to her base room flat, pretty confused. So C, G, and then just finishing on our D chord, the key of the song. So those are all the rhythm parts, the parts that Lloyd plays. As I say, you can do it on electric or acoustic. I'm now going to pick up the electric again and we'll look at some of the little riffs, fills, embellishments. Alright, so we've looked at the rhythm and chord structures in the verse and the chorus. I've come back to my electric guitar now and we're going to just look at some of those finer little embellishments, licks, details, little riffs that appear in the song, really nice parts. So again, we're going to zoom in and we'll break them down for you. Alright, so as I said before, some of the electric guitar parts on the rhythm guitar parts, the lead electric guitar parts and the rhythm overlap, so I don't want to duplicate too much. I think it's just worth mentioning some areas and just recapping on some areas. You do hear the electric guitar in the introduction. We looked at that part before. Also in the chorus, the F major 7. So I'm just playing the normal F major 7 there. I don't need to fill it out, putting the root in as we did before on the C note. I'm just holding the B string there, 3rd fret, and strumming upwards and hitting that and the open G string. So much the same as we did before, but just not as full, not without the bass parts in it. When she smiles my way, my eyes go out in vain. Got perfect skin. Little riff comes in there. So it's just double stops on the 1st and 2nd string, the B and E string, 3rd fret to the 1st fret, and then open, and then I'm playing B1 but with the G string as well. Into the next verse. Okay, so this is probably the signature electric guitar part of the track, more so than the main guitar break, which we'll look at next. I'll play through this slowly and then we'll break it down. It sounds like this. Okay, so I'm just using the G, B and E strings there, sliding in on the G string from 5 to 7 to B5, back to G7. In fact, I'll just play through it very, very slowly. It's probably easier to do that than try and name every note. So you'll note the slides. We slide in from 5 on the first one, hammering on there on the B string 5 to 7, to E5. On the B string there, we open back to the 3rd fret. And then that means you can finish on that G4. There, ready to slide and go again. Hammering on there on that 1st string, 5 to 7, I'm not plucking the string twice. So a nice little riff. I'll play that now over the top of the rhythm chords that we did before. I put those in my looper, see what it sounds like. Guitar break is over the change of key when we go into E, and it's fairly simple stuff actually. It's just around the B string, 3rd fret, sliding up to the 5th fret with an open 1st string, so you get this kind of droning sound. Or you can play it. Sound much on its own, but it's quite effective actually because it comes in exactly when the song changes key. It does that as well actually, so there's a double stop there holding down the 1st string, 5th fret along with the B, and then keeping the B down at the 5th fret but going to E3. And then it just finishes on, the underlying chord goes to A, so we get a kind of A chord up here like a triad, so we've got B, B5, G6, D7, strumming it from the E with a bit of tremolo action. There's more effects on it and a bit more gain I think than I've got here, but from what I can see on the video it just does that. Get your whammy bar going and nobody will know if it's wrong or not. But it does sound like that, and then back into D for the next verse. So again, like I've just done, I'll record the underlying chords for the key change. I'll play the introduction first just to put it in context. So again, going back right to the beginning of the song, how the song started, we get that coming in again later, preceding this key change, and then I'll come in with that guitar solo. That's it guys, that's what I've come up with for Perfect Skin by Lloyd Cole and the Commotions. Great piece of 80s guitar pop. I really hope you've enjoyed the lesson. Thanks again for watching. Please let me know what you think, I'd love to hear from you. And as I always say, until the next time, enjoy your guitar playing and I'll see you really soon.